Well, friends, hello everyone. I have good news. I am going to Shark Island. This will be my second attempt to survive on this island. I have goosebumps. I can already see Shark Island, like in horror movies. My name is Zhenya Panasiuk, and in search of new adventures, I am returning to the uninhabited island, which I previously named Shark Island. It didn't start off in the best way. Since early morning, there was a huge downpour, just a strong wind, and I thought my trip would be cancelled. But I still decided to take the risk and push through to the end. I found out that in the area where the island is, it's also raining. I don't know what will come of this, friends. No wonder I have one ear sticking out. You approved my hat on Instagram. So let's pack our things, get on the plane, and go in search of new adventures. Well then, everything is just like last time. From Island A to Island B, I had a 2-hour flight. I picked up my luggage, left the airport, caught a taxi, and went to the hotel. What can I say? Twice my trip has already been cancelled. Because as you can see, the weather is very bad. Right now, a huge cyclone surrounds the islands. And this morning, I woke up from an unreal downpour and strong wind. The doors were opening by themselves. I thought my plane would not fly anywhere. I wanted to cancel the flight, but at the last moment, I decided not to back down. Let's see what happens. I hope it won't rain all week. And I'll manage to shoot something interesting. My hotel was located near the port. I checked into my room and went for a walk along the promenade. I needed to find a ship and arrange with the captain to take me to the island. By word of mouth, I managed to find a ship's captain and made an arrangement with him. I returned to the hotel. And every half hour I looked out the window, hoping the rain would stop and the sun would come out, and that tomorrow would be warm and clear. But I was naively mistaken. The cost of renting the ship was $350, but since I was completely alone, I managed to bargain with the captain to a price of $250. Well, friends, I'm already on board the boat. It's raining, but that doesn't stop me. My mood is as combative as possible, so wish me luck. I'm heading off in search of new adventures on Shark Island. I was very anticipating the return to this island. On the horizon, I already saw familiar island silhouettes. Everything seemed very familiar, despite the fact that I was last here more than 2 years ago. Honestly, there was a slight anxiety inside. Besides the tropical rain that did not stop, big waves also rose, which easily rocked our ship from side to side. Despite the rainy weather. And it's not as beautiful, not as sunny, but nevertheless, friends, I am so enjoying myself. I have been waiting for this day for so long. I finally managed to get away. And I don't care what the weather will be like this week. Even if it rains, I don't care. I am sure that I will enjoy myself and be able to catch something interesting and shoot interesting material for you. In these shots, it is very noticeable how the strong waves easily rocked our ship in relation to the horizon. Now you understand why I had to rent a whole ship and not some small fishing boat. In the open ocean, very big waves rise, and we also had to overcome strong currents, which a small fishing boat simply cannot handle. The distance from the main island where I flew by plane to the Shark Island is about 40 kilometers. And considering these weather conditions plus the strong current, we will spend about 3 hours on this distance. Well, friends, I already see the Shark Island. Finally, I am returning. Island, welcome me. I missed you. But I don't know how much the island has changed in these 2 years. I really hope it is still completely uninhabited. And civilization has not reached it yet. Friends, this is no joke. The face of a happy person who is heading to an uninhabited island. For a week of solo survival, and in short, I am sincere with you. Sincerely sharing my emotions. Because I am very nostalgic about this island, to the point of goosebumps, to the point where I even get tears in my eyes. I am not exaggerating now. This is not staged, and I am genuinely happy that I returned here. And I promised that I would return to this island, and finally, I am here. Because it was the rainy season, the island was covered with green vegetation. The mangrove bushes have grown even more. But overall, the island remained as I remembered it last time, and so...
Yeah, and you give me, yeah? Woohoo! Okay, thank you.
The most important thing is my fishing gear. Since we returned to the Shark Island, and we will try to catch some fish, not necessarily a shark, I accomplished that mission. I will aim for GT, at least I need to catch something. But in any case, if I manage to catch a shark, a very big fish, that is also very good. Well, Shark Island, welcome, I am back. How I missed you. I took all my things. The ship's captain lifted his anchor and left my island. From this moment, my survival began. Well, friends, I am in place. Well, friends, let me share some emotions with you. It all started a long time ago. Basically, a very long time ago. As you can see, the weather is not pleasing, but I really hope that the wind will blow these clouds away. The sun will come out, and I will be able to spend a whole week here alone. I really hope that my island, it is not high, and the clouds will not linger here, so maybe there will not be such heavy rain here. But for now, it is raining. Nothing to worry about. Throughout my journey, I got upset several times. The weather completely ruined all my mood and fighting spirit, to be honest. But as soon as I boarded the ship at 5 o'clock in the morning, I saw the ocean horizon. And somewhere in the distance, there are large hilly islands. My mood immediately lifted. And despite this rain, this is nostalgia. I'm already so tired of looking for remote places away from civilization and filming my content there on an uninhabited island. It's a completely different story. And I'm very glad I got here. Despite this weather, I'm sure everything will work out for me, and you keep your fingers crossed for me. Look, this is a small tree gecko. There are many of them here. They hide either on branches or in dry leaves. There is a lot of small wildlife here. Various crabs, centipedes. There are even small scorpions. And there are also many forest and tree cockroaches here. This gecko turned out to be very tame, kind and friendly. It's a pity that the weather this time was not as friendly as this gecko. I decided to do a little inspection of the location, to see how the vegetation and relief of the island have changed. I went into a small dead end where there were mangrove bushes, and to get through them, I have to climb right over the trees and their roots. I need to find a place where the mangrove bushes are the thickest, so that I'm not in the water but can walk on the surface of the trees to the side of the ocean. Mangrove bushes are a separate, very rich ecosystem of the island. Thousands of different inhabitants live here, various crabs, mollusks, birds, fish, and insects. If you understand the mangrove forest correctly, you can easily get food here. So I think it's time to delve into the mangroves. Yes, I think we will move along these routes towards the ocean. At first glance, the roots of mangrove bushes are very thin and fragile. But even one such thin root easily supports my entire weight.
What do you...
It's very difficult to get through the mangrove thickets. Sometimes there's no choice but to jump into the water and swim from tree to tree. But finally, I managed to get out of this green maze. From my arsenal, I first took out a homemade bamboo spear. This is the first tool with which I started getting my own food. And you could say it's the symbol of my channel, the most primitive tool for underwater hunting. A sharp tip, a long piece of bamboo, and a piece of rubber. Notice how much the water level has dropped. I was swimming here today, right at the surface of these roots. The water has dropped by 2 meters for sure. Can you imagine that? Twice a day, low tide and high tide. It's now low tide phase. I'm waiting for the water to drop as much as possible so that I can get to the reef on the shallows, where there is already deep water, and cast my bait there. So here's an oyster, but it's already a dead oyster. Not the best environment for wading through the grass. Heat, tall grass. These are the perfect places for snake habitats, and I'm climbing here to get to that peak over there. And launch my drone, fly a bit, and study this island from a bird's eye view. It's very inconvenient to move here. Rocky terrain, but it is what it is. I decided to take the drone and fly over the island to make sure that no signs of civilization have appeared on the island in this time. That there are still no houses, no paths or roads on this island. That this island is still completely uninhabited. And I'm the only one here right now. From a bird's eye view, the island was visible like the palm of my hand. I was convinced that nothing had changed on the island. It is still completely uninhabited. You could only see small flocks of passing cockatoos. The first thing I realized, not to waste time, set up my camp, and need to prepare dry firewood. Because it's the rainy season, I understand that it rains here every day, and I need to take care of the dry firewood, because if it rains this week, it will be very difficult to start a fire. Therefore, we can't waste time. I decided to set up my camp in the same place where it was 2 years ago. Despite having a small strategic reserve, my main task on this island is to find food and water using only natural resources. To survive on this completely uninhabited island until the ship comes to pick me up. I'll put on my shoes, friends, because it's dangerous to walk barefoot here. There's a lot of trash. Well, last time this place was my base. This time it will also serve as my shelter. I will set up my camp here, but first, I need to clean up all this trash. This time, I won't be lazy and will pay more attention to it, because the camp should be cozy. Let's get to work. I'll clean up and prepare this place, and then I'll bring the rest of the things here. that's better. Much more comfortable and cozy. I'll collect the trash in a bag and either burn it at night or take it with me on the ship when I leave. At least I cleaned up a little on this shore, but there's so much trash here, friends. I don't think my ship would be enough to take it all, but at least I did something. The island hasn't changed. Neither has my hammock. Laleka, greetings and thanks. This very compact hammock has been with me since day one of my adventures, and it has withstood all these trials. The only thing it couldn't withstand was the sharp teeth of my beloved dog, but that's a different story. Great, the hammock is set up. I'll also hang a tarp over it. We're in the rainy season. I need to hide the firewood myself and the equipment, so let's move on to the next stage. I've been waiting for the moment to unpack this package for a while. A fresh new tarp to go with my hammock in the same color. I think this will be the perfect setup. Is everything ready? I need to hurry. It's starting to rain. And I need to hide my things, equipment, and myself. And most importantly, prepare dry firewood before the downpour starts. This is a very good find. Coconut husk. It's very easy to make a fire with it. So I need to collect more and put it under the tarp to keep it dry. Friends, I barely made it. The rain started. And it's good that I set up the tarp. Now I'm collecting firewood so that there is dry firewood under the tarp. I lay in the hammock and waited for the rain to stop. Flocks of white cockatoos flew overhead. They flew right above me, making different sounds, and sometimes it seemed like they were just laughing at me. Well, enough resting. It's time to catch some prey. First, I'll set up a fishing rod so it's ready immediately, because sometimes the fish get active. Somewhere along the shore, there might be a small shark or some other fish, so the rod is ready. I threw the bait right away, and there might be a bite. I'll also prepare a spear and a spear gun for underwater hunting. So I've set up my camp. Later I'll expand a bit and make a kitchen, but while there's still sunlight, time flies very quickly. I don't want to waste it. I'll set up a light fishing rod, so it's in standby mode, in case of any fish activity. As a light rod, I'm using a 2.4 meter long rod, with a test up to 40 grams and a 4,000 size reel. This rod can be used here for catching small fish in the coral reef, and also for catching squid, but you know me. I don't like to get distracted by small things. I'm planning to go all in, and this rod will be just in case. A turtle is swimming. I saw it underwater. Now it's diving there, catching fish. Or maybe it decided to say hello to me. Friends, this time I brought a lot of interesting things for you. So this season will be interesting for both fishermen and spinners, as well as for divers who enjoy underwater hunting with a crossbow. Also primitive hunting with a spear, bushcraft, traps, and also hunting with a slingshot, and of course, culinary elements. So I think this season will not only be enjoyable for you, but for your whole family. Sit back and enjoy watching. Take a look. The tide is already receding. The sun is slowly setting over the horizon, so I won't waste time. I'll set up my heavy setup, that is, the rod for big fish. Let's bet on the big ones. I don't want to waste time catching some small fish. I will persist. Maybe I'll catch either a shark or a GT again. I use a powerful setup for catching sea monsters. For this I use a rod that is 2 meters 52 centimeters long. With a lure test up to 120 grams, this rod is a one-piece. I install a 10-000 size sea reel on it. It is additionally protected from seawater entering the mechanisms. A line with a braking load of 120 pounds is wound onto the reel, and a shock leader with a braking load of 180 pounds is tied to it. As lures, I use poppers, as well as floating and slow-sinking swim baits weighing from 40 to 100 grams. So, let's launch this beauty. A handmade popper. I call it Gerasim. It's very simple. It was given to me by my close friend Gera from the city of Cherkasy. Thank you very much. I promise that. It's a good, very cool gift for me to remember. And I hope that today or tomorrow I will be able to catch a worthy trophy on it. Well, don't let me down. It splashes well. And friends, let's get 15,000 likes under this video, so that I understand that survival on a completely uninhabited island is interesting to you, and you would like to see more series from this island. For you, it's just a second and one click on the button. And for me, it's the nicest thank you from you. Friends, did you see that? A shark wanted to attack my lure. Phew, I got goosebumps. Just like in horror movies. The fin rises, cuts through the water. It accelerates and literally just a little bit was missing to attack my lure. Wow. It's not for nothing that I call this island the Island of Sharks. Where are you? Damn, that's something. I have goosebumps, friends, just like this. So emotional. I really hope you saw it. How fast it is. It was big. I think it might even be bigger than what I caught last time. Friends, you should have seen my face at that moment. When a shark swam up to my lure, my eyes almost popped out. In any case, I knew the most important thing, that there is still a shark on the island of sharks. The shark was exactly in the same place where I caught it 2 years ago. But this fish seemed a bit bigger in size. Maybe it was the same shark. And in 2 years, it has grown a bit. What do you think, friends? Could it be or not? Write me your answer in the comments under the video. It would be very cool to catch it again. I still managed to catch a fish, but something strange happened with the video. I will try to figure it out and definitely show you the moment of catching this fish. During the bite, I first thought it was a barracuda because the fish darted to the side very quickly. But then I saw a sharp protruding dorsal fin. And I thought it was a GT, but it turned out to be a queenfish. It has very similar tail fins to a GT. The fish was quite large, and it will definitely last me the whole day. I cleaned the fish and prepared it for cooking. Well, it's time to make some beautiful moment, in the same style as I did 2 years ago. And then make a screenshot for the video thumbnail. So friends, let's compare the new thumbnail and the one from 2 years ago. I tried to make them as similar as possible. And which version do you like more? Write in the comments under the video, the old version or the new one. When the sun set behind the horizon, I saw small sparks flying over the bushes again. These were the same small fireflies, but this time there were much fewer of them. And in the sand, I managed to catch some very strange creature. Friends, look what I managed to catch. What kind of creature is this? Who knows? It looks, of course, probably some kind of fish parasite. No? Or is it some kind of shrimp? Strange thing, I'm afraid to put it on my hand. It might bite. Look, what is it? Who knows? Write me in the comments. Watch how this thing quickly buries itself in the sand. Watch, whoosh. Wait. It's gone. And disappeared. I lit a fire and cooked the fish I caught. Fin. It's very tasty. Fresh, delicious fish. I ate well and lay down in the hammock to rest. The road was long and I was very tired. And tomorrow is a new day, and new adventures await me. Friends, this was just the first episode of survival on this island. I highly recommend watching my videos in full seasons, using playlists for each individual island. I also want to say a big thank you to the viewers who became sponsors of my channel. A small button has appeared on the channel, with which any viewer can become a sponsor and support the development of the channel. You can also support my channel with donations, the link to which I will leave in the description under the video, but this is not necessary at all. It's up to you. Thank you. Well friends, see you in the morning. Good night to everyone. Friends, if you are glad that I returned to Shark Island and you liked this episode, only in this case, give it a thumbs up. Share this video with your friends and be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss the continuation. As soon as this episode gets 15,000 likes, I will immediately publish the continuation from this island. Bye everyone.